Hey everybody, what's up? It's Andrew here with a new 2012 iteration of Apple's iconic white little earbuds, the earPods. Now, these were just introduced at the iPhone 5 event a little bit ago. These are now shipping either by themselves as a standalone product or with all the new iPods and iPhone. Anyway guys, let's get to it. So, first we're going to kind of compare some other headphones here. On the top row, we've pretty much got on-ear and over-ear headphones. Okay, we're going to start with these Bose here. These are over-ear. They're going to completely seal off your ear by going completely around it. I usually don't prefer these. These two are on-ear, the P5s of Bose Wilkins and a Bose set. Here are Beats, their sport headphones version from Beats, which are in-ear but also wrapped over top of your ear. We have here the Bose & Wilkins C5, which are going to go in your ear but also kind of around the inside of your ear, then plus the earbuds and earpods. So we're going to start with a little bit of, showing you the earbuds that Apple has shipped for the last several years here. On the bottom here, we just have this loose thing, which actually causes a lot of issue and actually starts to come off. Mine's getting a little bit worn here, and this is not that old. On the top, you can see that rubber, which they added at their last iteration with the mic and everything, that's starting to peel off as well. And this whole thing is just going to pop off. It's essentially just clipped on and glued, so it just tends to fall apart. So these are a lot of the issues that a lot of people have been facing with the current generations of the earbuds that Apple has been shipping out. So they also have these holes in the back which allow for air to move, which allows the driver in there to actually move a little bit freer, but again, the quality has been bad on these. So let's start with the new ones. It does have the inline remote, which is bigger. I'll do a comparison in a second. As you can see, it just has the volume buttons, it has a mic icon on the back, and the center button, which allows you to answer calls, Siri, all of that. So as you can also see, they've added the extra pieces of rubber that are going to allow those cords to kind of stay in there better and not start to come apart, which they added on the base of the headphone unit several years back. If we get here the earbuds and compare them, you can see the size difference between the two. It's not a ton bigger, but it is a little bit bigger and a lot easier to press. It actually is a little bit more springy compared to the last generation, which almost didn't even make a clicking noise. They just seem to work if you squeeze them hard enough. The new one has just a definitive bounce back to it, which I was almost surprised by for the first time that I went to use it. Now again, you can see here it's slightly taller, slightly thicker, as well as the old one, and again you can even see that when it moves compared to the old generation. This is also a little bit smoother and rounder compared to the old one, so again they seem to be going away from their sharp edges that they've used in the past. Now as we move to the top of these new headphones, you can see the new shape. That while from the ear it looks pretty much the same, but once it's removed you can see it's got a very different kind of teardrop shape than it has in the past. It has several obscure holes, seemingly randomly placed all around the headphone. Starting with these two here, which produce the sound. The sound is now angled directly into your ear, which gives much better performance. The two holes, one on the back and one on the stem, are for mid and bass, respectively. It allows air to move freely in between the chamber, which allows the driver to freely move back and forth, which produces much better basses. Now, if you tried covering these up while listening, you can notice how they immediately go to crap and sound even far worse than the last ones. So as soon as you let go, they sound phenomenal, which really shows how much design effort went into these headphones. Apple claims to spent the last 3 years designing these guys. You can really start to see the difference when you start using them. Now, as you can see here, there is a very slight seam. However, this is not going to be like the seam from the last one. This will not be coming apart, and these will not break down. Looks like these are going to actually last a lot longer than the last ones did, which will be a nice change. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at the cord of this new one, you can actually see it has some newfound rigidity that was not present in the last generation. It's not as rubbery feeling and kind of doesn't bounce around and stuff like that as much as the last one did, which actually could be good or bad. In general, it's to deter kinks in the cord. Moving up the headphones right past the Y split, you can really start to see the effects of that new added rigidity. You can actually see that if you start to kind of just pull, like if these were just in your pocket, you can easily get kinks in the cord and it'll actually bend and actually hurt those wires inside. It's always good to actually take care of your cords, not just shove them in your pocket. If you look at the top ends of the earbud where the wires are thinner on these, you cannot kink them just by pulling them together. They always pop around so they don't actually kink and hurt the wires that are inside of them. So cool, now you know everything there is about the actual physical aspects of these new headphones. How do they actually sound? So I started testing with my iPhone 4S here, and I started off with some current music that had a lot of bass. Something like Modest Yahoo's One Day and Some Nights by Fun. I listened to them first on a few of my studio headphones, then I tried earbuds, and then I tried switching to the new earpods. And I was actually blown away by the difference between the two earbuds and the earpods, as well as how they actually sounded very good compared to the studio headphones. Now, most of the times I actually hate in-ear ones, so these are actually a good compromise between last generation's earbuds and these current earpods. They don't actually go like in your ear and seal it and like squeeze themselves out. They actually stay in there pretty good. They fit well, and they actually sounded really good. They actually had some incredible bass, especially on those two songs. I did notice when I switched to something a little bit more quick and a little bit higher pitched, something like Explosive by Bond, that has a lot of violin, I did notice a little bit tinniness on a couple of the specific high notes. For the most part, they sounded stupendous. But compared to my C5s, which are about $150 headphones, I guess, I actually prefer the earpods. They don't stick all the way in your ear. They don't kind of slide out. They don't have to have that ring in your ear. Personally, I'm going to be selling these C5s and swapping the earpods for anything besides studio listening. So now I also want to show you a little example with Siri. Just go ahead and squeeze the middle button on your remote. What time is it? It's that simple. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it here. These earbuds are marketed to prove around the last generation, and I personally love them. I hope you guys enjoyed them too in your new iPhone 5s or iPods. As always, please subscribe, check back for more, and check out my other videos.